Hi, hello. My name is Savannah and I'm going to talk to you all about my Make 9 for 2026. I don't typically do Make 9s. I kind of just throw a bunch of ideas together kind of as my goals for the year. I typically don't get through them, but you know, they're always nice to have. But this year I figured let's keep it more reasonable for myself and we'll just do a Make 9 and see how it goes from there. So let me show you what I did for last year first. So last year I made myself like a little vision board type thing of all the patterns that I would like to make in 2025. And out of all the ones here, I only finished 1, 2, 3, and then this one's not finished, but it was started. That was the first one started. It's still not finished, but so yeah, 4 items off of this, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I had 14 things on this list. And I could have technically got to all of them. It's just, you know, things come out in the year and ideas change. You know, it's normal. It's just a process. But yeah, so I figured I wouldn't go as crazy as I did for 2025 and only pick about 9 things. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and show those to you. I will be inserting photos and information right here for you to view. And then I'm going to show you the actual yarn that I pulled out of my stash that I'm going to use for each and every one of these projects. Unless something comes up, you know, later on in the year. But this is what I have, and I'm quite proud of myself for being able to potentially just pull from stash for these. But yeah, so this is my 2026 Make 9 plans for 2026, of course. First on my list is the Haraboji. I believe that's how that's pronounced. It's the Haraboji cardigan by Eggio Knits. I've wanted to make this for a while. I believe you start at the cuff and you knit across. I think that's how this one is made. I'm not entirely sure. I already own the pattern. I just haven't looked through it yet, but I would really like this cardigan. So I have 2 yarn choices for this one. I'm still unsure. I think I'm leaning towards the one over the other, but I'll show you in just a second. So the Haraboji cardigan by Eggio Knit. It looks like the called for yarn is Ralma Feefel. I do not have that, of course. And that's okay. I would like to use that yarn at some point, but for right now, no. Let me see, what else can I tell you? So that's an Aran weight or worsted. Well, that says it's an Aran weight, but it's a worsted weight yarn, 18 stitches per 4 inches in moss stitch. Needles are, it says a 4.5 millimeter and a 3 millimeter. There's only 3 sizes. This is a little bit something about Eggio Knit patterns. She doesn't have, her older patterns don't have a big range of sizes. A lot of them are oversized in general, so I think you might be able to get away. I did knit one of her more recent patterns a couple months ago, and it had, I think, 8 or 9 sizes in it. So I think she's starting to become more size inclusive. I just don't know if she's going to go back and fix those old ones. So I just want to let you know. But this is my first choice, something I'd like to get cast on relatively soon. You know what I wanted to do? I'm just realizing now. I wanted to cast this on New Year's Eve, but I didn't because I was working on my test knit, which you can see here. I was really trying to get both sleeves finished. I did not meet that goal, but I was very close. Anyways, rabbit holes, tangents. This is me. I am Scatterbrain McGee over here. All right, let's talk about the yarn choices for the Haraboji cardigan. So again, it calls for a Rama Feefel, which is a worsted weight, but I have Lions brand Fisherman's Wool. I have it in, this is the natural colorway, and this is the brown heather colorway. I'm just debating on which color. So the sample one, which I'm assuming I have on the screen, is, as you can see, is in white. So I do have this. I could do it, but I also could do it in this. So I think I'm leaning towards the white though. So if you have an opinion or a suggestion, please leave them in the comments below. Let me know what you think. But I know I will be using fisherman's wool, not rib, to make this cardigan. And it should be one of my first cast-ons for this year. I should also preface that I'm not sure when I'm starting any of these, just because I do have a very large whip list right now, if you've watched my last video. So yeah, whenever that happens. Again, I wanted to start this like the other day and I didn't. Maybe I should do a swatch at least, kind of get going. All right, let's carry on to my second on my list. So I need to fix the order of my queue on Ravelry, because I believe my second one will be the Melting Shirt by Gray Level Knitter. Same designer as this right here. This is the Winter Chunky Jacket. So the same designer came out with the Melting Shirt just recently, and I absolutely fell in love with this. It is gorgeous. So this pattern calls for Gepard Yarn Kid Seta. And so I don't have that as well. I have a little bit, that yarn is a little bit more difficult for me to source. Probably not, but I'm not entirely sure where to get it. Plus, using Stash, it's always better. So it calls for 2 strands of the Kid Seta, which I believe is just a mohair. So you hold 2 strands of mohair together for this project. It's 22 stitches per 4 inches on a 4mm needle. There's 4 sizes, but it's also very oversized as well. And what else can I say about it? I don't know. My yarn choice from Stash is the Lana Grossa Puno Luce? I don't know how to pronounce that, but as you can see, this. I got this off of a D-stash on Facebook in my neighborhood. Somebody in my neighborhood was selling 10 balls of this, so I snatched up all of it. And I've actually gauge swatched for this pattern already because I got so excited. Don't mind these holes. My needles were sticking out of that. So this is the gauge swatch, and I actually met gauge using a 4.5mm. So I had to go up just a little bit to meet gauge. But yeah, this is what I'm going to make mine out of. It wouldn't be my first, honestly, I don't even know what my first color choice would be for this shirt. It is, as you can see, it's in pink. She also did a yellow version with an intarsia back, which is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what color I would actually do, so it's kind of nice just being forced to pick what you have that works. Granted, I do have mohair in Stash, like undyed mohair, so I could do whatever, but I'm going to use this. This, I should tell you about this yarn. This is really, really lovely, and I'm actually quite excited to use this. The contents of this yarn is a 30% alpaca, 30% merino, 20% cotton, and 20% polyamide. Like, this stuff is really nice. I'm like super excited, and it's like got a little bit of a shininess to it. I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah, so I'm just like, perfect, I'll just use this and then I'll figure out what I can wear with it. This is a project that I could, like, this, if I could just easily buy this garment, I'd probably buy it in like every color I could think of. It is just so lovely. Knitting it is probably not going to be the funnest thing in the whole world, but it is so fun. And I love the short sleeve version with the intarsia on the back, but maybe in the future. So yeah, that is item number 2. Let's get this. It's kind of a mess. My desk is a mess. All right, number 3. Number 3 is the Esther sweater by Scrapple Scapel. I don't know how to pronounce this. Again, that's why everything's up on the screen. I believe you cannot get this pattern. I actually found this pattern on a website called Scribed. But now I'm going to be honest, I still want to try to make this, but I've read on Ravelry that it is actually kind of a difficult pattern. Like, it's quite difficult to follow. So again, this is called the Esther. The yarn that's called for is the Scapel Strict Spinaville. It's their call for it. I believe you can buy this pattern with the yarn as a kit on their website still, but the pattern by itself you cannot get. This is the yarn that's called for is an Aran weight. It's 19 stitches per 4 inches on a 6mm needle. There's only a small, medium, large size. And again, I've read a few other people's notes that it is not a very well written pattern. So that does make me a little nervous. But I think I could figure it out. So I have this as number 3 on my queue, but we will see. Let me show you the yarn that I'm going to use. I got this yarn. This is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted weight. And I got the colors that are very similar to the original, as you can see. So we have, what is this? Haze Heather. My lighting is not the best. It is a pinky purple. Like, it's purple with pink bits in it. This one is Pink Posy Heather, and then just white. So I have a whole bunch of this to hopefully get through it. I believe this is a bottom-up sweater as well, which is not my favorite, but I think it's so cute. It'd be a great winter sweater, honestly. So this is something that I'm going to attempt at some point. I really wanted to start this last year for like a second Christmas sweater, but I just didn't have it in me. I didn't even think I was going to finish my other Christmas sweater in time for December, but I did. So we'll see how this pattern goes. And hopefully I will film bits and pieces of it when I do start it. All right, number 4 from myself. Now this pattern, I'm not entirely sure it'll be this pattern, or if I'll switch it out for a different one, but this one I already own, so it could work, and I've heard great things about it. But that is the Stripe Hype sweater by Kutavikika, Veronica Lindberg. I want to do a stripe sweater. And I really love the stripe hype the way it is with the different colors and stuff like that, but I don't have enough yarn in stash in order for me to do it like this, like the way that it is shown. Even if I had like different colors, like I don't think I have enough DK yarn to do that. So my thought is, I have these 2 yarns that I won last year doing a challenge. It is the Rook Knit or Rook Knit. This is her 100% wool. I got it in these 2 colors. So I have 5 balls of each. I think this is DK. I hope it's DK. It's 383 yards per 100 grams. I think this one was called Kelly Green or Jelly Bean Green. And then this one, I forgot what it was called, but I want a sweater in these 2 stripes, or in these 2 colors, like stripe it. The only issue is I don't know exactly which pattern. Again, like I said, I already own the Stripe Hype sweater pattern, and that could work. Just use both of these and just alternate it to be those 2 stripes. Or I could get the Olga sweater by Petite Knit, because those are slightly thinner stripes. It's just I'd have to purchase the pattern because I don't own that one yet. So I'm not sure. Again, what would be your opinion? Should I do the Stripe Hype in these 2 or the Olga? Now, initially, there was a sweater that was in testing back in September by a lady on Instagram called Stockinette Bitch, I guess. It was her Instagram handle. And she put out a test call for this really cute sweater. So like half of it was striped and the other half of it was checkered. And I was like, oh, these would be perfect for that. It's just, the pattern's never been released. And I reached out to the designer like a week or two ago and asked if it's ever going to be released, and I haven't heard anything. So I guess I just have to move on and stop waiting. Unless by the time I get to this and it does release, then maybe I'll do that. But I think it's so cute. It's just, what happened? What happened to that test knit? I believe I even signed up for that test knit because I had the yarn back then and nothing. Anyway, so yes, I want a navy blue and a Kelly green striped sweater. So right now, potentially the stripe hype or the Olga. Okay, moving along. Now this one I am still on the fence about, but I've had it on my 2025 sheet and I kind of still want to make it. So we'll see. That is the Colette pullover by Sari Nordland. I think it's super, super cute. I have 2 options of yarn. I'm just not sure about yardage with one of them. I've heard yardage is a little difficult in Sari Nordland's patterns. I heard that once from somebody, like her yardage recommendations are sometimes not enough. So that makes me a little nervous. But oh, I should tell you, that is, sorry. That is a DK weight. It's on Ravelry. It says it's light fingering plus lace held together to make a DK, but I'm just going to use DK. It's 19 stitches per 4 inches on a 3.5 millimeter. Ooh, that's tight. I don't know if I'll be able to, I might have to go up to a 4 millimeter. We'll see. I haven't gauge swatched or anything like that. But all over cables, it's really cute. I like it. So I have 2 options from Stash. I would really like to do it in this Moondrake yarn that I have. This is a Corriedale DK. It's 268 yards per 100 grams. This is the color Mahogany. I actually bought this as a kit with, so 4 of these with 2 other colors to do a Caitlin Hunter sweater, but I think I decided I didn't want to make that sweater anymore. But again, I only have 4 skeins of this then, so I don't know if this would be enough. But I think this would be really pretty for the Colette pullover. My other option is this Bahram U Wood Note DK. This is a Blue Flace Leicester Masham blend, which I've heard great things about. This one is 223 yards for 100 grams. It says it is 34% BFL, 33% Masham, 33% Merino. So there's Merino in there too. So maybe a little bit different than the Sunday Fiber Co. Is that who else sells BFL Masham? Anyways, I have 5 skeins of this. So now that I'm looking at the meterage or the yardage, I'm not sure if this would even be enough. I'll have to double check. Yeah, I'd have to double check. But these are my 2 options. I'd really, really like it in the purple if I could. But yeah. I just have to double check yardage and gauge and all that other stuff. Because I don't know if I've knit a Sari Nordland pattern before. I don't know. All right, next on the list, number 6. This one was on my list for last year as well, and I never got around to it, but it's Vega by Katja Fredriksson. This is a cardigan with colorwork only on the shoulders. It's really cool looking. So they use Olafla Sloppy, which is a bulky yarn. It is 13 stitches per 4 inches on a 6 millimeter needle. I actually bought the exact yarn for this, gosh, probably 2 years ago. I probably bought it in 2024. I probably bought it in 2024 for this and then never got around to it. There's 8 sizes. And I think I bought the exact colors. Let's see. Just want to double check. Colorways 5 and 86. Yep, 5 and 86. So I have a whole bunch of this. I don't know how many balls, 5 or 6, and then 1 ball of the gray. So yeah, I want to make that cardigan hopefully this year because I've wanted to make it for over a year now. So I need to get to it. But yeah, this is the Vega. I don't know what else to tell you about it. This is a for sure plan, like just a matter of getting to it. That's my biggest problem is getting to it. Right, number 7, the Ava jacket by My Favorite Things Knitwear. This one recently came out as well. I absolutely love it. These are new. This is a new one. Oh my goodness. So the original is in the white with the black. She has a new one on Ravelry right now. It is black with like what looks like blue or a dark brown with a blue. Oh, it's so lovely. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Okay, so this is the Ava jacket by My Favorite Things Knitwear. It is, the suggested yarn is Issachar yarn tweed, Maryland, and alpaca 3. I priced those out when this pattern first came out, and it is way too expensive for me to buy the actual yarn. I would love to because I've always wanted to try Issachar yarns. It's just not feasible for me right now to purchase the yarn for this, but holy buckets, this new colorway is so beautiful. Okay, so it looks like it is a DK plus sport plus fingering to make a bulky weight yarn. 15 stitches, or a bulky weight gauge. 15 stitches per 4 inches on a 5.5 millimeter. Got extra small all the way to 4XL. What do I want to say? This one is still very iffy for me only because of the yarn that I have in stash that I could use for this. I don't know if it'd even work. But I only have 5 skeins of this in stash. This is the Nomad Meringue yarn. It is 70% baby alpaca, 7% fine merino wool, 23% recycled nylon. It is 100 grams, 284 yards, 1 ply, bulky weight. So it is is this like a blown yarn? Maybe? I think so, because it looks like there's a little chainette type. I don't know for sure. I have 5 skeins of this in stash, all undyed. I had plans to make something else with it, but this could potentially work for the Ava jacket. And then I had this in stash that I was going to put on. Sorry. I have this that I was going to put on my Etsy because I was like, I don't know what to use this for, but this could potentially work for this. I don't know. Again, this is something that's going to be later on down the road. And see what I have, what could work potentially. This was just a maybe. This is Knit Picks Gloss Lace, which is 70% merino wool, 30% silk, 440 yards for 50 grams. This is just the black colorway. So that I could hold this with this to make the little bleps. I have other black like fingering weight yarn in stash that I could potentially use as well. But yeah, it was a quick thought when I was going through stash one day. I was like, oh, this could potentially work for the Ava jacket. I don't know. I would really, really love to get the Issachar yarn. But yeah, I really want to make this cardigan jacket thing. And now that I see the new colorway, like, whoa. Again, further down the road. But I wanted to show you. I'm going to have to get a screenshot of this for you guys and add this in. I probably already added it in, but prior to editing, I'm getting a screenshot of that. Ooh, that's gorgeous. Okay, Next, right now 8 and 9 interchangeable, doesn't matter. So 8 is the Guernsey Genzer by Santa's Garn. I've wanted to make this for a while. I have the original pattern in a Santa's Garn booklet, and then I purchased another booklet that was pretty much just the Guernsey Genzer and maybe 2 other patterns, but you could get it in fingering weight. The gauges, you know, there's like kid sizes, fingering weight gauge, DK weight gauge, a fingering plus a like a alpaca, all sorts of different ones. So this is the original. The original is a DK weight, lace plus DK. It says DK, 18 stitches per 4 inches on a 4.5 millimeter needle. This is the OG size. So I'm thinking about doing the fingering weight size gauge. Pause. I'm gonna go get the book so I can get you the information. Okay, so this is the booklet I was talking about. It's number 2212. I got this from a store in France. It was the only place I could find where they sold it, but let me show you. So they have several different gauges in here. Let's see here. Guernsey Genzer, we have the Peer Gynt plus mohair. That's not the one I want to do. Got, what's this one? The same thing? Maybe kids? Guernsey Sweater Man, which is Peer Gynt plus alpaca. Guernsey Sweater Man, which is just the Peer Gynt version. And then Tin Peer Gynt. I think this is the one. Tin Peer Gynt, which I believe is a fingering weight. I could be wrong. Oh, that's the kid one. Oh, it's right here. Okay. The Guernsey Sweater Tin Peer Gynt edition, which I believe is the fingering weight version of this. The gauge for that is... Where's the gauge? Where's the, oh, there it is. 27 stitches on 3 millimeter needles. So let's see if I can get the picture of it. Okay. This is what it looks like. You can see the hanger through the sweater. It is a very lightweight gauge. And I like that, especially for like the summer. So my idea is to use Holst Garn Super Soft. This is the Cobalt colorway. And I would like to use this. So this has been a plan for a while. I just never got around to it. So maybe we'll see if that happens. Hopefully. And then the last one I have also was on last year's list as well as the Guernsey Genzer. It is the, I don't know how to pronounce it in the original language, but which I don't know if it's Norwegian or what, but in English it's called Time for Flowers, by Amanda Alberg. Sorry. It calls for Plautelope or Nutidin. I actually have both. I could use either or, but I think I'm going to go with my original plan, which was Plautelope. So this is a worsted plus lace equals worsted, which is weird because it doesn't say to hold. It doesn't say to hold lace with worsted. I don't know why that is listed there. It just says 2 strands of Plautelope held together, or 3 strands of Nutidin. But the gauge is 12 stitches per 4 inches on a 7 millimeter needle. 7 millimeter. That's huge. So this should go pretty quickly. It says for so there's only 3 sizes, small, medium, large. It says you need, for Plautelope, you would only need, for the largest size, 5.5 plates. I have 6 total, so I might make the large size, actually. But this is my Plautelope. Could I tell you what colorway this is? Nope, I don't remember. It's one of the greens. It's a heathered green, so it's got browns and whites in it. I don't know how well the lighting is. But, yeah, it smells nice. I have had this in stash for a while, and I didn't know what I was going to make with it. Found this sweater at the end of 2024, so I really like the embroidery bit, the flowers right here, so I just need to get to it. If it's on a 7mm needle, which I did not realize, that's going to knit up really, really fast, so I should just get to it. So, yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. It's like, these plates can get you quite a bit of yarn. Like, I made myself the Mile Short Jacket by Ozetta a couple of years ago. It's a really great project, piece to wear. I really love wearing it. I only needed 6 plates to make that. I can't remember exactly what size I made, but it definitely fits just fine. I used Plautelopi to make my Christmas sweater this past year, and I barely even cracked into some of the plates. So this stuff goes a long way, just so you're aware. But yeah, that is my last project. Sorry. I have plenty of other ones that I want to make too. I have at least 3 I can think of. Yeah, at least 3 I can think of. But I didn't want to go over 9 for like plans, but potentially those other ones could get started this year as well. But these are what I have. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. I'm gonna clean up this whole mess and keep working on my test knit because I'm getting closer to being done. All right, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope my chaotic craziness wasn't too much to handle, but this is who I am, and I'm not gonna try to fix it. So